Hey, Cammy! Aren't you experiencing any sense of shame for your actions? Do you comprehend the extent to which you cause distress to those around you?
Huh? What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
How pathetic is it to be 41 years old, married, and still residing in your parents' house? Do you grasp the weight of the burden you impose upon our family?
I don't think I'm a burden.
The mere fact that you continue to reside at home is not only embarrassing but also an additional burden in itself. It's not normal for people to live at home at that age.
Although I reside at home, the majority of the time, I am rarely present. Furthermore, I contribute financially to support the family. You have no right as my older sister to complain about me.
I'm embarrassed having you as a part of the family. You're a failure because you're still living in at home.
Are you even listening to what I'm saying?
You're a failure, that's why you can't get married. Popular girls like me can get married really quickly.
Oh, really? You're right that you got married and had kids, and maybe our parents are grateful for that. But since I can't contribute in that same way, I have been giving mom and dad money. You're not doing that, now are you? You keep complaining about me, but you're also over 40 now. And since you're my older sister, you've lived even more than me. But even though you're the older sister, you and your husband still haven't sent our parents any money. What's up with that?
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm not responding.
Don't ignore me, you just won't reply because I'm right.
I'm not gonna play your little games. You're not even willing to listen to what I have to say.
You know that I'm right. You're the one who's not willing to listen to what I have to say.
I've kicked you out of mom and dad's house.
Huh? What do you mean you kicked me out?
You're not home now, right?
I've told you a million times that I don't go home often since I have to go on international business trips frequently.
Are you saying that to brag? I'll have you known that nothing about that is worth bragging about. For me, having your own family is what truly can bring you happiness.
You might be right. But everyone's values are different. I can't deny your way of thinking. So can you not accept my way of life?
A 40-something-year-old unmarried woman like you serves no purpose.
Are you listening?
You're trash. Actually, some trash might be more valuable than you.
How long are you going to berate me until you're satisfied?
You're on a business trip right now, correct? You've worked all your life and now you're 40. What's fun about a life like that?
You really don't have to say that. I'm busy now, so are you done? If you want to keep talking, whatever.
My husband and I are considering moving in with mom and dad.
What? Really?
That's why mom and dad said that they'll refuse to take any more money from you. You probably weren't giving them much anyways. We talked about inheritance too. They said they don't want you to claim the right to anything. So we're cutting ties off with you. Just treat us like strangers from now on, okay?
Huh? Why were you guys talking about inheritance? Mom and dad are still healthy, right?
This is regarding future business. I don't want you to steal the inheritance from mom and dad. I'm the one who deserves it anyways.
I get what you're saying, but I never had any intentions of claiming the right to the inheritance anyways. So then why do I have to break off ties with the family? All I was doing was sending our parents some extra money.
I've made it so that they cut off all ties with you. Because I never want to see you again.
Let's talk about this when I return home. I'll listen to what you want. This isn't something meant to be discussed over text. We should talk about this more calmly. If you want to move in with mom and dad, then that's fine. Do what you want.
You don't seem to understand. You being there is a burden.
Are you really going to say that? I had no intention of burdening anyone.
Even if you didn't mean to be a burden, you are one. I'm done speaking with you. Why don't you go back to work? That's all you're good for anyways.
I was gonna get back to work anyways. Don't be so nasty.
My husband agrees with me. He thinks you're weird.
Why would he say something so rude? I barely even met with him yet he says that about me?
That's because it's weird for someone to be in their 40s, unmarried, into living with her parents. You boasting about how you give money to mom and dad is also a joke.
Feel free to say whatever you want. But you have no right to say any of those things. Who does your husband even think he is?
Don't make fun of my husband.
Then how about you don't make fun of me? We need time to seriously talk this through. Talk to you later.
My husband and I are moving in with mom and dad today. You'll have nowhere to live now.
Huh? Seriously? I told you we should talk this through. Did you forget?
There's nothing worth discussing with you. I've already thrown away your belongings.
Huh? I know you looked down on me, but did you really have to go that far?
While you were on your international business trip, I threw away everything into the dumpster. Since you always brag about your business trips. You're a good-for-nothing woman that still depends on her parents after hitting 40. Never come back! You should be ashamed of yourself.
Throwing everything in the dumpster. Wasn't that a hustle for you?
It was, but it was worth it because now I can cut off ties from you.
Did mom and dad agree to you doing this?
They were on the fence about it at first, but they eventually came around. They did it so that you can become independent. Stop letting our parents support you and live on your own for once. Just because you're giving mom and dad money doesn't mean anything. You need to live independently.
Did you seriously throw everything away?
Yup. I did it while you were on your little trip. You're a parasite living off of mom and dad. Don't come home.
Thanks, you may think it's easier for me.
Huh?
I said that I was going on a business trip. But I'm actually working here indefinitely and had no plans of going back.
Huh? What do you mean?
I used to go on international trips and return home when I got back into the country. But if I was living there full time, then wouldn't I have had to pay rent?
I don't understand. What are you even saying? So you're telling me that you weren't actually living there in the first place?
Well, of course I would return home for short periods of time when I'd come back. But I never intended on fully living there. I already have a house in Paris.
Huh? You have a house in Paris?
I didn't tell you? I bought it last year. I was always moving between New York, London, and Paris. But from now on, I'd like to settle down in Paris. That's why I ended up buying the house.
I don't understand what you're saying. How can you afford to buy a house in Paris?
How? Well, I am working. I also just simply wanted to send money home to mom and dad. I pretended that it was for rent. Well, if mom and dad don't care anymore, then that's fine. I won't be planning on living there ever again anyways. I'm actually grateful that you cleaned up my room for me. Thanks.
So you never planned on taking mom and dad's house as your own?
Why would I do such a thing? I don't think I said anything about doing that.
Yeah, you didn't say anything, but...
I didn't even know you wanted the house. If mom and dad are okay with you living there, then I don't have any complaints. Just do whatever you want, Bella.
Huh? So what was I trying to compete for?
I have no idea. I think it's respectable that you're raising your 2 kids, but I don't like being told what to do by you. If you want to break up ties with me, then go ahead. Of course, I'll stop sending money just like you said I should. In return, you threatened me to not take any of the inheritance, right?
Yeah!
What's even there to be inherited? Mom and Dad are just living off their pension. I don't think there will be anything left to give to us besides the house. I never planned on receiving the house anyways. So you really didn't have to compete with anyone?
How could I have known? Does living off their pension really mean that they don't have much extra money? I suspected that you were surely using our parents' savings to go abroad since you go so often.
Come on, you seriously know nothing about me.
What do you mean?
I've worked so hard to the point that they put me in magazines. I'm practically famous. You seriously know nothing.
What? You're famous?
I go by the name Arena. If you Google me, stuff should come up. I have tens of thousands of followers on social media.
What do you mean? What kind of job do you even have?
I'm a designer. The fact that you don't know is shocking.
Huh? You're a designer? I've never heard this before.
From your perspective, I'm just a 40-something-year-old who's unmarried and likes to have fun abroad. You think I'm some good-for-nothing loser that uses her parents' money to mess around.
That's how it seemed.
I'm sorry, but that's so far from the truth. I used the money I made to go abroad and learn. And now I've made it. By the way, I'm not lonely. I have a partner.
What a partner!
We've been partners for a while now. But we just got engaged.
Hold on, I just checked on Instagram. You were engaged to this good-looking guy? This must be a joke, it's not a joke?
I'm not a joke. I'm sorry, but my life is a lot more fulfilling than you thought it was.
There's no way that you can be engaged to some extremely handsome guy. While I was cheated on by my shabby husband and my life isn't going well. My husband quit his job and he returned to his hometown so that he can get by without paying rent. How come you're the one who gets to live a happy life? That's not fair.
Can you calm down? What are you trying to say? You proclaimed that I would be kicked out of Mom and Dad's house and cut off from the family. Then you threw all my stuff out of the house. But now you're jealous? Please get yourself together. Have you ever thought that maybe the reason you're in this situation is the result of your own actions?
What are you saying?
There's nothing more that I can do for you. You and your husband can take care of our parents. That's what you wanted, right? In the meantime, I'll be living happily in Paris. Bye, I'll probably never see you again.
We were informed about Cammie's circumstances and the constant disregard she faced, as well as her elder sister Bella's descent into madness due to envy. Their parents managed to make ends meet with a limited budget relying solely on their pension. Bella eventually came to the realization that staying with her parents wouldn't afford her any financial gain. Ultimately, due to her spouse's infidelity, she decided to end the relationship and depart. She assumed the responsibility of caring for her children at home alongside her parents, and she even secured employment to generate additional income. This experience caused Mia to recognize the importance of fostering a better relationship with her younger sister and engaging in more effective communication with her. There are moments when she deeply regrets not cultivating a bond with her sister. Her regret intensified, particularly when she witnessed Cammie appearing on television, as Cammie now feels unattainably distant to her. Her family laments their failure to treat her kindly, acknowledging that they should have recognized this sooner.
Hey, Melissa. How's everything going at Cali?
It's going pretty well, Dad. I just finished my first year.
That's great to hear. So, what's on your mind today?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about my bank account. I have a hometown credit union account that you're a cosigner on, but I've been thinking about switching to a more convenient bank.
Oh, really? What happened? Did something go wrong with your credit union account?
No, not at all. I actually got a part-time job WHI at school, and it made me realize that a different bank would be more convenient for me.
I see. Well, do you want me to co-sign on the new ACC as well?
Actually, I was thinking about handling the ACC on my way own. I would like more financial independence.
But Melissa, I'm your dad. I just want to help you out and make sure everything is taken care of.
I appreciate that, Dad. But I'm an adult now, and I think I can handle my finances on my own. Plus, I don't think the reasons you provided for co-signing are valid. I'm 18 now, legally an adult, and I want to have more financial independence. I don't think it's necessary for you to co-sign on my new account. I can handle my finances on my own.
I have a responsibility to ensure your financial well-being. It's not about control, it's about looking out for your best interests. Having a co-signer provides added security and accountability.
I get that, Dad, but I've been managing my finances responsibly. I even got a part-time job to support myself. I just want the convenience of a bank that's closer to me and easier to access. I don't think it's necessary for you to be involved in every financial decision I make.
Melissa, it's not about wanting to control your every move. It's about ensuring your financial stability and having a safety net. Life can be unpredictable, and having a co-signer can offer you protection and guidance when needed. Plus, if there are any emergencies or unexpected expenses, it's beneficial to have someone who can assist you.
Does Dad have anything to hide from you?
What are you saying?
I understand that emergencies can happen, Dad, but I want to learn to handle those situations on my own. I believe I'm capable of making responsible decisions and managing my own finances. Co-signing on a new account feels like a step backward in my journey towards independence.
I want what's best for you, and sometimes that means taking a cautious approach. I'm not trying to hinder your independence, I'm trying to be there for you when you need support. Let's find a middle ground where we can ensure your independence while still having some security measures in place.
Dad, I appreciate your concern, but I really want to explore the possibility of having my own account without a co-signer. I want to take responsibility for my own financial decisions and learn from any mistakes that may arise. Can we please try to understand each other's perspectives and find a solution that works for both of us?
Melissa, now that you've turned 18 and transitioned to an adult account at the credit union, I think it's important for me to co-sign on the account. I still help you with certain expenses like textbooks, and having my name on the account will make it easier for me to deposit money directly when needed.
I appreciate your willingness to help, but I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable with the idea of you co-signing on my credit union account. I understand your reasons, but I also want to take more responsibility for managing my own finances and becoming independent.
I understand your desire for independence, Melissa, but co-signing on your account is not about controlling your finances. It's about ensuring that I can provide financial support when necessary. I want to be able to help you quickly and efficiently, especially with expenses like textbooks, which can be quite costly.
I see where you're coming from, Dad, and I appreciate your intention to support me. However, I feel that having you co-sign on my account may give the impression that I'm not capable of managing my own finances. I've been learning and growing in this area, and I believe I can handle it independently.
It's not that I doubt your abilities, but I still want to play a role in assisting you financially. I know you're relatively new to managing your finances, and I want to be there for you as a safety net. Co-signing on the account doesn't mean I don't trust you, it's just an added layer of support. I've been thinking more about our conversation regarding co-signing on your credit union account. After doing some research, I realized that what I told you earlier about the need for co-signing and making deposits was not entirely accurate. Anyone can directly deposit money into your account, and there are other ways for me to provide financial support if necessary.
Thank you for acknowledging that, Dad. I also did some research and found that as a co-signer, you would have certain privileges such as the ability to withdraw money from my account and view my transaction history. However, I prefer to have full control over my own finances and not have anyone else involved in those aspects. Okay, but just so you know, I was a little uncomfortable with the idea of you co-signing on my account at first.
I understand that, but let me explain my reasoning. As you know, I've been helping you pay for things like textbooks and other expenses while you're in school. And since I'm depositing money into your account, I wanted to make sure that I could do it quickly and easily without any issues.
Yeah, I remember you deposited money into my account once last year.
I just want to make sure that you have everything you need to succeed in school and beyond. And having a solid financial foundation is a big part of that.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
It turns out that anyone can directly deposit money into your account, so there's no need for me to be a cosigner or make deposits on your behalf.
I see. So what does being a cosigner actually allow you to do?
As a cosigner, I would have access to view your transaction history and withdraw money from your account. Additionally, we would both share responsibility in case either of us is in a financial mess.
I believe that having an account solely under my name will allow me to take full responsibility for my financial actions and decisions. It will also give me the freedom to manage my finances in a way that aligns with my goals and preferences. Actually, Dad, I appreciate the offer, but I really don't want your name linked to me financially at all. I'm trying to establish my own financial independence.
What do you mean? I just want to help you out and make things easier for you.
I know, and I appreciate that. But I want to be able to handle my finances on my own. Plus, I'm worried about the potential backlash if I suggest that I'm not financially independent.
I understand where you're coming from, but I don't want you to struggle financially either. I used to make a lot more money than I do now, and your mom and I had to supplement our income by withdrawing from our retirement accounts. We're still doing okay, but it's tight.
I appreciate your concern, Dad, but I'm actually doing okay financially too. I'm living with you guys over winter and summer breaks, but during the school year I have a part-time job and I'm managing my expenses pretty well.
Listen, I wanted to talk to you about something important. We've been supporting you financially for a while now, but the truth is, we can't continue to do that indefinitely. At some point, the money will run out.
I understand. And I don't want to be a financial burden on you either.
That's good to hear. But there are also some privacy concerns that we need to address. As you know, your mother and I are strict and very religious. We homeschooled you for religious reasons and were accustomed to controlling almost every aspect of your life as a child and a teenager. But now that you're an adult, we need to respect your privacy and autonomy.
But I have to be honest with you. I don't feel comfortable living under your roof anymore. I need my own space and independence.
The joint account with a credit union on my Mint app, I can view every one of your transactions. I can observe your child's spending. Money is not easy to come by. And even if you already have your job. But if I watch you, you will learn how to use your money correctly.
Yeah, Dad, I've been using it and I can see all the transactions on my Mint app. But I don't want you snooping around unless you have a good reason to.
I just want to make sure everything is going well with your finances. I'm not looking to find fault with your purchases, but if I do see something that concerns me, we should talk about it.
I appreciate your concern, but I also value my privacy. I have things going on in my personal life that I need to keep private for my own safety right now, and having access to my financial information could jeopardize that safety.
I understand that privacy is important, and I'll respect that. However, I also want to make sure that we have open communication about anything that might affect our shared finances.
Of course, I want to be transparent about any financial matters that impact us both. But I also want to make sure that my personal privacy is respected.
Well, I was hoping we could co-sign on another bank account together. Your mother and I are going through some financial instability right now, and we could really use your help.
So this is what parents really mean when they want to share their children's accounts, right?
Are you an adult and need help with family matters?
I appreciate you coming to me for help, but I'm not sure if I'm comfortable co-signing on another account with you. Can you tell me more about why you need my help with this?
It's just that we're struggling to make ends meet right now, and we need some extra support. Plus, having a joint account would make it easier to manage our finances and keep track of everything.
I understand where you're coming from, but I've been thinking about my own financial situation lately, and I think it's time for me to start managing my own accounts separately from the family.
What do you mean by that? We've always managed our finances as a family.
I understand that, but I hope you can also understand where I'm coming from. Maybe we can work on finding a solution that works for both of us, like closing out the credit union account and setting up separate accounts for each of us.
Let's stop this here and not discuss this further. Parents will continue to monitor their children's spending on the current credit card they are using.
Dad! Dad, I just checked my account and found that all of my money is missing without any reason. And when I checked my debit card activity, I saw that you withdrew all the money without telling me. Why did you do that?
Oh, that's just a normal thing, dear. I need your contribution to support our family.
But why didn't you tell me before withdrawing the money? I feel very shocked not knowing why the money disappeared like that.
I'm sorry about that, dear. But now you understand, right?
We need to contribute money to support the family.
I understand that, but I still feel uncomfortable because I wasn't informed beforehand.
Of course, I'll try to inform you beforehand about the family's expenses. But currently, our family has plans to take out a loan to buy a house, and we need everyone in the family to contribute money.
Under my name?
That's correct, dear. We will borrow under your name for convenience in dealing with legal procedures. But of course, when we pay off the debt, I will return this amount to you.
I can't agree to this, Dad. This is beyond my ability. I can't keep listening to unreasonable demands from you. I'm an adult. Dad, that's your and Mom's home loan. I'm not responsible for your excessive spending.
But you have been provided with funds for education, and now you are not even willing to support the family in this loan. Don't you see how selfish you are? So what about my living expenses that you gave me? You shouldn't be so selfish.
I can send money to help pay off the debt, but I cannot have the loan under my name because it could affect my reputation in the future if I am unable to pay it back on time. It will be difficult for me to get a job with a loan under my name.
Melissa, you are betraying the family. The family needs your support and you are not agreeing.
I understand, but having the loan under my name is not the best solution. I will try to find another way to support the family.
I don't believe you. You still don't understand the importance of family, do you?
I understand the importance of family and will try to find a way to support them. But I cannot let it affect my reputation in the future.
Melissa, I want to ask you a question. Do you think your reputation comes solely from the struggles of your family?
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
I think you've forgotten the most important thing in life, which is family. How can you be so selfish and only think about yourself without helping your family when they're in need? Just standing as a guarantor for the debt doesn't mean you have to pay it back, but you refuse to help your family.
I'm not being selfish, but I don't want to affect my future career prospects. If I stand as a guarantor for the debt, it could cause negative consequences for my life and career in the future.
But don't you understand that family is also part of life and your success depends on their support? I hope you can rethink and consider supporting your family in all circumstances, not just when they need money, but also when they need emotional support and care from you.
Dad, why are you due to me? Do you want to interfere in my life again?
Really? I just want to give you some advice. You live in my house. You are responsible for this.
But you interfered with my religion, school choice, and financial decisions just to please Mom and you. And now I need money for tuition, but you haven't been supporting me, so I have to work to pay for it.
I understand how you feel, but you also need to understand that our family has spent a lot on your education. The money I took is just a small part that you must send back home.
But I'll try to manage everything. You shouldn't take all of that money without asking for my opinion.
Okay, I understand your opinion. I won't touch that money without asking for your opinion anymore. But I hope you understand that once you turn 18, it's time to give back to the family and pay off debts.
I will work hard to pay off the debt and not let you worry about my finances anymore.
You are a capable person in the family. We have invested you all the money, then you should help us with this. I took a loan of $25,000 and I invested it in a house recently. The plan was to sell it next year if the housing market stabilizes. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned, and the money is gone.
What? $25,000 is a significant amount. Dad, how could you take such a loan without discussing it with me? This goes beyond my financial capabilities, and I can't possibly help you repay such a large sum.
I apologize for not discussing it with you beforehand. I thought I was making a wise investment decision, but I underestimated the risks involved. I understand that it's a considerable burden for you, and I'm sorry for putting you in this situation.
I have my own expenses and goals, and this unexpected debt will significantly impact my future plans. Can we explore other options or seek professional advice to manage this situation? Dad, don't you think this number is completely unrealistic for a student like me? Dad, let's live in reality, don't invest and receive failures all day long.
Come on! I can help my parents with this, but just standing in my name will make it easier to breathe. This is the value you can contribute to this family. Don't scream like that all day.
You won't agree to this. Dad can't always go his own way without consulting. This is not fair. I will switch to another consumer card without your presence in this account. What Dad did makes me feel extremely disappointed in what he did.
Don't think that if you can do this, you can still use your guardian's rights to limit your finances.
Dad, let's stop the conversation here. You've let me down.
Melissa, why did you change to a different payment card without informing me? I can't believe you would take control of your own money like this.
Dad, I've had enough. I don't want to be controlled by anyone when it comes to my finances. I need financial independence.
I'm just trying to help you, and I request that you use the card I provided for you. It's part of how I support your expenses.
No, I don't want to listen to nonsense from you anymore. I refuse, Dad. I don't want to hear any more unreasonable requests from you. I am grown up now and capable of managing my own finances.
Don't speak like that, Melissa. This isn't nonsense. I'm your father, and I have a right to look after your finances. I always try to do what's best for the family and help you. I made investments to provide a better life for our family.
Dad, you always spend money in the house squandering it, and when you randomly invest, you never get a return on your investments. You always frivolously spend money and make reckless investments without any returns. I'm tired of these actions. I don't want to be controlled by unreliable decisions.
How dare you say that? I'm trying to make smart investments for our family's future. That's enough, Melissa. I will use my authority as your father to make you listen to me.
And I'm saying that I don't want to accept this anymore. You've already listened enough, and I won't let you control my money any longer. I refuse, Dad. I have listened enough, and I won't accept being controlled by you. I need freedom and the right to make my own financial decisions.
As your father, I have every right to make sure you're making wise financial decisions.
I have listened enough. I need freedom and independence in managing my finances. I won't accept this anymore. I understand that, but I'm an adult now, and I can make my own decisions. I appreciate your concern, but I need to do what's best for me.
Fine, if that's how you feel, then I'll have to use my fatherly authority to make you listen to me.
Dad, please don't do this. I love our family, but I need to be able to make my own choices.
How dare you betray your family and refuse to help it?
I won't refuse, but it won't be possible to put the loan in my name, and I won't let my dad manipulate my finances now and in the future.
I won't let you be at peace if you don't help the family.
Dad, I don't want to hear this anymore, and I hope it doesn't ruin my future.
You're being selfish, Melissa. We've done so much for you, and now it's your turn to contribute.
It's not about being selfish, Dad. I want to focus on my own goals and aspirations. I can't be responsible for fixing all the family's financial issues.
We sacrificed a lot for you, and we expect you to help us in return. It's your duty as a family member.
I understand that you've made sacrifices, but I also have my own dreams and responsibilities. I can't carry the weight of everyone's financial burdens on my shoulders.
Well, I won't stand for this, Melissa.
You should prioritize the family's needs over your own desires.
Dad, I'm not neglecting the family's needs, but I also need to take care of myself and build a stable future. I hope you can understand that.
This is disappointing, Melissa. I thought I raised you to be more responsible and caring towards the family.
Dad, I don't want that at all. Dad, please answer me. Dad didn't respond to all my messages. A week later, I got a notification about the debt attached, but I refused and they yelled at me a lot. Then my parents cut off all my school fees. Although it was a bit difficult at first, thanks to my friends, I overcame it. But they blocked contact from me. Was this really right what I did? I just returned home. I'm exhausted. My manager lifted me up by whining about his wife's infidelity. It was exasperating. Noble, are you still working? Is it as crowded as usual?
Yes, it may take a bit longer than I anticipated. What a hassle it is to train a slew of new employees. You may have supper without me because I'll be late.
Got it. But I miss you. You appear to be quite busy these days, and I know you've been arriving home late rather frequently. We had our final supper together approximately 2 weeks ago. And that wasn't even close to home. I also spent hours preparing dinner for you.
Yes, I suppose.
I suppose so. What? You're not sorry about anything?
I really apologize for making you do all of the chores and such. It must have been difficult for you. There is just no time due to work. Since we're both working and earning money, I should do my fair share of housework. I promise I'll make time.
Work is work, so don't stress too much about it. Furthermore, we haven't gone on a date in months. I'm not really asking for much, Noble, all I want is to spend time with you. I think I miss the times when we used to go on frequent dates.
Sorry. Because of how difficult work has been recently, I don't even have any days off. You already know how it is. I wish I could be there for you more often. Please realize what I'm saying, honey.
Whatever. I'm going to let it go. Speaking of which, it's nearing the end of the year. How are you doing? You may get increasingly busier. Isn't that a little much for you? I guess I'll be alone more often now.
That's probably correct. I can't help myself if I get too busy, haha.
What? Were you kidding? Are you suggesting you'll get busier? Noble, you've got to be kidding. We're still newlyweds, how could you devote all of your time to work? After we married, I had so many ideas for us.
We've been married for 2 years, so we're not quite newlyweds. You're overthinking it yet again.
Others still regard us as newlyweds, so why can't I? Let's put this out of our minds. It will just aggravate me further. Oh, and did you see the package we got recently? It was made of apples. You can guess who sent them.
Apples? Why would somebody send something like that?
It's from your pal Orly, you blunder lol. She stated it was from her family's apple tree, therefore she advised you should eat them. I saw other parcels from her, but I opened this one since it was the heaviest.
Orly, are you kidding me? How could I have forgotten? She literally has an apple orchard on her property. Those were the good old days.
Remember to thank her then. You've known each other for a long time. Apples are also quite useful. They're healthy for your health and will keep you in shape. We should have organized our own apple auction. Also quite flexible in the kitchen. Orly is preoccupied with her work, yet she came all the way here simply to give them. Isn't she the nicest thing? I wish I had had such a childhood buddy like her.
Are you certain about that? I believe she was only attempting to get rid of the apples. We could have received a better deal. If there is another mail for me, please do not open them. Also, Orly is now a housewife and isn't accomplishing anything. It must be tedious.
Yeah, I've got it. Don't worry, I won't open your letter. And please, no such remarks. How could you be so impolite? She's far too close for comfort. I hope I could be friends with her. I lost touch with all of my girlfriends after marrying you, and you are now my sole friend. No way, she's not a decent buddy. Believe me on this.
Babe, you're the only one who cares for me.
But she's beautiful and intelligent. How could she possibly have it all? At the wedding, your friend Neil told me that all the males had a crush on her. Did you enjoy her noble as well? LOL.
No way, in hell. She's definitely not my type. I like blondes over brunettes.
Wasn't she living abroad with her spouse till a year ago? I thought they were in Japan for 3 years or such. Her Japanese is likewise fluent, which makes me envious because it took me years to even reach a basic level.
When did you learn Japanese? I'd never heard of it. She's just ordinary. Keep in mind that you're just as gorgeous and intelligent as she is. But wasn't that when you were a child? We just ran in circles around the rural roads, mountain roads.
You're making me laugh. No matter what, kids will always find a way to make it fun. Were you overjoyed to see her again? It must have been fun to reminisce about the good old days now that you're both adults. I'm not going to feel envious, so you don't need to be overly defensive.
No, I'm not kidding. I never viewed her in that light. I mean more than just being happy. I'm simply stunned that relocated so near to us. What are the chances, you say? I'd understand better if she went back to the country. But it's a terrible place to be. We're both married, but I'm sure we'd be neighbors again. Never would have guessed.
Isn't it the definition of fate? I suppose you two are also linked by faith in some way. Speaking of the countryside, have you set New Year's resolutions yet? Because last year was tough due to the relocation, we should absolutely go this year, right?
Do you mean going to see my parents?
Yeah. What else do you suppose I meant? I mean, my parents' house is nearby, so there's no reason to travel there for New Year's. Hubs, I'm okay with going to your parents' place.
I'm not sure about visiting them.
You don't want to go back this year either?
I'm thinking of heading back by myself. I apologize for bothering you.
Why would you do such a thing? It's not at all a bother. You're suggesting you'd like to spend it apart again this year? That's starting to irritate me.
But there's nothing like that in my hometown, which you wouldn't understand because you're from the city. Even if you did come, you'd be bored. Believe me. And you'd feel scared and uptight since you're in-laws as well. I felt the same way you did.
I mean, I could end up like that. Noble, you make an excellent argument. But how could I say no? They're my in-laws. My mother was shouting to me about how I wasn't being dutiful and such by not paying more attention to your parents.
LOL. I understand your mother's point of view, but there's no purpose in paying her a visit. We're both generating money, so we should just take advantage of the opportunity to unwind during the break. What do you think? Didn't you wish to go to the new museum in our neighborhood? You should take advantage of this opportunity to go see it.
I honestly don't agree with you not going to see your parents. It's really impolite to simply not show up.
I'll simply pretend you were sicker than usual. I'd only been gone for about a half day. I don't want to make you feel obligated to leave. And if we go back to my parents' house, we'll remain there for a long time. We might even spend the night together. Are you certain you want that?
Oh, and I have too much work, so I can't risk an overnight. However, I haven't seen your mother since we married. And I don't believe your mother likes me either. When I greeted hello to her on the last video conference, she merely groaned and kept her response brief.
Oh, you're serious? I had no idea my mother had phoned you. But that's how she's generally.
Oh, please. Even I am aware that this is not the case. Your mother informed me at our wedding that she never imagined you'd end up marrying a lady like me. Do you have any idea how horrible I felt? And she said, if only you had chosen a girl like Orly. That day, I sobbed in the restroom. You don't recall her mentioning that I was a shambles after that.
I have no recollection. Are you certain I was also present?
Of course you were present. Our wedding day had arrived. However, you may have been socializing with pals or anything. It's actually been bugging me for quite some time. She frequently compared me to Orly and once neglected my name and called me Layla. So I decided to catch up with her and get to know her more.
You don't need to be concerned. My mother is just like that. You work as a lawyer. It is usual at this time of year to be unable to travel. My mother would understand, too, darling. She simply liked Orly more since they spent so much time together when we were kids. My mother was also present when I arranged fictitious marriages with Orly. Don't worry about her, lol.
That's why I decided to go this year for sure. You know what I mean? Making an effort to gain her favor this time. But if it's deemed a bother, I won't be able to go. Oh, it stinks. Noble, I despise how much she adores Orly.
I'm sure my mother has forgotten what she said by now. And I don't mean Letitia, you're my wife, not hers or anybody else's. It doesn't really matter if my mother doesn't approve of you. So long as you have me.
But I want to get to know her as much as possible.
You're too serious, Letitia. Relax a little. Okay, I've got it. What do you think? I'll do my best to find out what their plans are for the new year, and perhaps we might meet there. What do you think?
Please, I implore you. You're the greatest. And, if she turns out to be like me, let's all go out together, okay? I understand how busy you are, so I won't take up too much of your time. See you when you return. I adore you.
I adore you. See you, love.
Noble? Are you here? How is your business trip going? Do you live in Miami? Have you already checked into the hotel? I haven't heard from you in a long time. How could you have ignored me for so long?
Babe, the plane was delayed. I was without service. I just arrived at the motel. I'm exhausted and achy from the flight. I was simply thinking about taking things slow and relaxing in a nice warm bath. I apologize for not responding sooner, darling. I'm missing you.
I miss you as well. I hope I could have joined you, but I had a silly meeting. I'm sorry they notified you at the last minute that you had to go. Oh, and please get some rest. And bring me along the next time.
Right? They're using me to the hilt. I was hoping for a respite this weekend as well. I guess not.
Do you wish to make a phone call? I'd want to see how your hotel appears. It isn't too late, so it should be fine, right?
Sorry, sweetie, but my phone is out of battery.
Is it really that difficult to charge your phone? Don't bother calling me then.
Huh? Letitia, are you depressed or something? You sound a little dry.
You haven't called, and it's been hours, so of course I'm unhappy. But I did receive a call from your father.
What? My dad? What exactly did he say?
This was bound to happen. Your father's birthday has arrived. How could you have overlooked Noble? You're such a jerk, son. I sent him a gift. I even texted you about the present, which was a wallet. And she called to express her gratitude.
Oh, you're referring to it. Yes, I am aware. My father said he liked it.
What were you expecting me to say?
I mean, there's not much incentive for you to call my father.
So I was simply taken aback. I'm sorry, baby. To be honest, I was astonished as well. It was also the first time I had received a call from him.
Right? I'm sorry you were taken aback.
But I was relieved that he had phoned. I believe that was the first honest chat I had with him since our wedding day. I felt terrible the entire time because I hadn't had many chances to meet him recently.
I was aware of it. You want to go back to my parents' house with me, right? Do you truly want to go that bad?
Wasn't that self-evident?
Sorry, but I failed to say that I inquired about it with my mother. My mother stated that she wishes to spend it with her family only. This time, I truly attempted to ask her. I vow to you.
That means she doesn't consider me a member of her family, correct? I could tell she didn't like me right away.
No, that is not the case. Even if we meet many times in the future, I'm confident she'll come around soon. Just be patient, sweetheart.
But your father said it was fine for me to join. So, who of you is lying?
My father is unable to read the rooms. What he says doesn't bother me. He simply says anything he wants, whenever he wants.
My mother's opinion is the most important. Yes, I understand. Mama's boy.
Mama's boy? I'm not one of those. Don't say that to me. Is everything all right over there? Is there nothing going on?
That's all there is to it. Traveling back and forth between home and work. You are already aware, haha.
Got it. Letitia, put in the effort. I have to hurry going since I have supper in a few minutes.
Letitia.
Hi there, Giselle. It has been a long time. How have you been doing?
You're just as carefree as you've always been, aren't you? In this day and age, how could you act like that?
I apologize, but what happened?
What are you doing right now? Where have you gone?
I'm in the office for work. What's the problem?
God, I'm sick of you. You really are a bad person. How could you possibly have missed my husband's funeral? Phyllis hasn't gotten back to me. I'm even considering divorcing you with my son, which could be for the best. Quit talking falsehoods. My son stated that he made certain to inform you. Even if you haven't met much, how could a woman miss her own father-in-law's funeral? Phyllis can't even find solace in this situation.
Huh? What? What are you talking? Phyllis pass away? How could that happen?
Do you doubt my words? How dare you say such things to me?
But, Giselle, I'm not sure what you're on about because, I'm with Phyllis right now.
What? I assumed you were at work. Why would my spouse be working for you? You're definitely not in a good mental condition. Are you on drugs? I'm sure you are, classless lady.
No, I am absolutely speaking the truth. It's you who isn't in the correct frame of mind. So, please tell me once again, how could Phyllis have died if I'm with him right now?
You ungrateful brat. I previously informed you. He died, as I told you.
In such case, let me notify Phyllis of his own deck. I'll forward your message to him.
Please excuse me? Is he truly with you at the moment?
He certainly is.
You're telling the truth. You think I'm an idiot, don't you? Why would he be present? You've never talked more than 2 words to each other?
First and foremost, let us eliminate the ACT. Phyllis informed me of your plans with my husband. I'm not a moron. How did you come up with anything so ridiculous?
What were our plans? I'm not sure what you were on about.
It's pointless to pretend to be innocent right now. Everything has been made public. Oh, Giselle, it appears like Phyllis is phoning you right now. Isn't your phone ringing? Why won't you answer his call, Janet? Please quickly and pick up the phone. Run away, you coward. This is not the last time you'll hear from me. I'm now preparing the divorce paperwork in alimony. Why can't you get back home faster? I'm eager to finish this. Your father is also waiting for you.
Sorry, Letitia.
Why the heck are you apologizing? That has no meaning for me.
For a variety of reasons. Everything.
For having an affair with Orally, huh? Or if we're attempting to end our relationship so you may marry Orally? How about asking your mom for assistance so you can divorce me?
Of course, for everything. I wasn't sure how to approach the subject of divorce with you, and when I discussed it with my mother, she indicated she would back me in marrying Orally instead. I was informed she'd assist me. My mother was looking forward to it as well.
You are the most timid, helpless little mama's son I've ever encountered. You two fools also attempted to convince me that your father had died. That blew up in your face, didn't it? What on heck is going on in your head?
I really didn't want to do you any harm, Letitia.
Don't be so self-righteous. Why would you have cheated on me in the first place if you didn't want to harm me? I would have divorced you for no cause if I hadn't heard from your father a month ago that the two of you were up to something unusual. I'm delighted that occurred.
Did you already know about us back then? Why didn't you speak up?
When your father contacted me back to thank me for the gift, he informed me. Your mom summoned you to discuss such trivial matters. I should have known after all those extended phone calls. I couldn't believe him at first. I didn't want to think you were defrauding Noble. So I hired someone to follow you, and that's when I discovered the truth. It was just so awful. I couldn't believe it when I learned you were truly cheating on me.
I'm so sorry. If I had known this would happen, I should have notified you right away. Yes, I'm completely incorrect on everything. I should have informed you earlier. I lingered on telling you the news since I saw how happy you were after getting married.
We divorced immediately away in such instance, and you pay the alimony. What the heck were you looking forward to? I want to end whatever relationship I have with you right now.
I understand. I'm on my way home right now. I'll make certain to accept full responsibility. After all of this is said and done, I can finally be with Orally. Orally is pregnant, and this is my fault. I should have told you this earlier, but I hope you can accept and support this.
Do you think I should support you being such a scumbag and deceiving others? We're done with Noble. Continue on.
What are you on about? Why would I want to rekindle our relationship? Orally and I are getting married.
Whatever. But I'll discuss it with Oraly's present spouse. What do you anticipate this will be like, Orally?
What is the point? That makes no difference. Orally will be my constant companion from now on.
Oh, I'm assuming you haven't spoken to her yet. She apparently begged him for forgiveness after he confronted her. She apologized and stated that she would do whatever to avoid divorce.
What? Did he say it to you?
Yes, it did.
How could she do that? So what should my child be like?
LOL, if that's your choice, I can't deny this story is so hilarious. We will meet again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Please come help me on time.
Wait! Nah, you're tricking me. Orally and I have been best friends since childhood. Surely nothing has changed. She loves me. Surely you said something about me to Orally. She can't betray me like you say.
LOL, you should check your IG because I don't want to lie to a blind person. You're serious about this relationship, Noble, but it seems Orally doesn't think so. So hurry back and ask her about this, and before you do this, please sign for me the divorce papers I've left on the table.
Wait, I regret what I did. Should we rethink this?
Think? Never, this is not the case.
My ex-husband came home weeping and yelling that he didn't want to divorce me. Because Phyllis was present, He was able to coerce his son into signing divorce papers in exchange for alimony. After speaking with Phyllis, my horrible ex-mother-in-law ceased bothering me and vanished for a while, causing me nightmares. My ex-husband made a big deal about signing the paperwork, and now it's all over. Phyllis was likewise fed up with his son and wife's idiocy. He expressed his disappointment and apologized on their behalf. What's more shocking is that Phyllis divorced Giselle not long after. He seemed a lot happy after finalizing the divorce since my ex-mother-in-law had nowhere to go and freeloaded at my ex-husband's apartment.